Welcome to Girls in Basketball. I'm Kelly Kinkaid, and I'm so excited, everybody. The NBA 2020 Finals are here live in the bubble starting today, Wednesday, September 30th. I'm very excited once again, and I had to bring some of my friends and specialists who love the game just as much as I do to talk about the LA Lakers and the Miami Heat playing to win this championship for 2020. Let me first introduce my long-standing, I have to give him the title of co-host for the season, Reggie Hawkins. Thank you, Reggie Hawkins, for joining me. I know. I'm just giving you this title this time because you've been rocking with me all this time in the bubble and before the bubble all this season. So welcome to the show to preview the finals.
I'm ready.
And I'm so excited. I finally got him here. Had to go all across the world to find him to talk about this. I have, some people know him as DJ Set Free. Some people know him as Set Free. I know him as Set. But today, you're down with Girls in Basketball. Welcome to the show.
I've been trying to. This is like trying to get in the tunnel, or the line was so long for years. But
right. I know. Before we start talking about the finals, I just want to tell people a little bit about you, because you are a culture innovator. And when we talk about basketball, you are the creator of the infamous and the classic N1 mixtape. And you merged hip hop and basketball players together and made beats. And you had players like KG, Rashid, AI and stuff involved in that. How did that get started? And I'm curious to know, who has been your team? Like, have you rocked with the same team throughout your love of basketball?
So a quick story of how the tapes was put together. And the company, I was working for the company, and they just had blank VHS tapes of just playground footage, and it was actually skip tapes. It was ready for Austin to play. Of Rucker Park and Gaucho's gym. And the head of marketing just took me into the kitchen, showed me the tapes. And that was when I was DJing. I was signed to Tommy Boy Records at the time, which was 1997 as a DJ. And I just asked him, could I borrow the tapes and take them home? Took the tapes home, turned the volume down on the TV, turned the speakers up on the turntables. And I was just DJing and looking at the TV, and the light bulb went off. And that was how the infamous everything came together for the N1 mixtapes.
I was going to say, with all, it's a lot of basketball players like Iman Shumpert. Tyler Hero said that he, gets down. And, even I've had the pleasure of talking to Steven Jackson on Sway in the Morning. He talked about getting more basketball players doing some mixtapes and stuff. Would you ever create something now in 2020, because we're in a new world? Why not bring back N1, but do something with the basketball players? Because you're still affiliated with so many of the basketball players who are current and who are retired now.
I'm working on something. 2021. The news going to break soon. The news going to break this year, but it's definitely involving a lot of players, a lot of beats, a lot of mixtape-ish stuff. So it news will be coming soon.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing a little bit of your background. But let's talk about these finals, this NBA finals. Yep. Reggie and Set Free. How has just the life in the bubble, the whole NBA games life in the bubble, been for you now that we've reached this pinnacle of the bubble?
How did I assess the play in the bubble? It surprised me how one team in particular didn't come to. It surprised me how emotional basketball can be, and how extra existential circumstances can affect basketball. Like for me, basketball is basketball. Let's just throw the ball up and let's play. But from the Paul George situation where he was emotionally traumatized, to the Lakers not wanting to go and the Clippers not wanting to go, to to obvious to obviously young teams um, Denver and even Miami, how they adapted. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a whole different thing as it pertains to this situation that we're in and how it affects basketball.
Set free, Miami and LA. Did you figure this was going to be the end result
Yeah,
for the finals?
I bet on Miami 2 series through, and they've been making me some good money.
Right.
You know, so for Lakers, I'll talk about the Lakers. Lakers bench is too deep. The bench is just too deep all the way across the board. I mean, I still haven't seen the lineup I want to see. I want to see AD, Dwight, and JaVale and LeBron at guard and Ron. Like, you put that lineup in, it's Clash of the Titans. You know, that's a big lineup. And I mean, you got AD gonna shoot the three still. You got Dwight just is in the middle. You got JaVale is another defensive force and another forward. Then if you put Ron at the guard, bringing the ball up to Rondo. You know, and I think, you know, they have a lot of experience coming off the bench. You know, veterans. You bring a Dwayne off the bench. You bring in a JaVale off the bench. You got a J.R. Smith coming off the bench. You got a Q Cook that's been and got championships. That's talking that championship DNA. So I think they just so stacked. But then, you know, that heart. You know, the Heat remind me of AI. You know, Tyler Hero to me is a version of an AI when it comes to heart. You know, he's out there doing it's tremendous. You know, the Heat they have a lot of 3-point shooters. Dragic, you got Jay Crowder, big man shooting three. He reminds me of a Rasheed Wallace, the way he's shooting threes. But I just think it's going to come down to that depth of the Lakers, man. But it's going to be a good matchup.
So you're breaking down each bench. Let's talk about matchups.
Okay.
When we talk about matchups between LA and Miami, who do you think is the best person that is going to go up against AD? Because, and the reason why I asked that, you know, Bam Adebayo, this last game, everyone is singing his praises.
Yeah,
the game before, he said it's my fault, and he showed out and sealed the deal to go to the finals. Who's going against AD?
See, this the problem is I don't know what the coaching is going to run on any position.
Right.
Because Bam did something that I only seen done on the bench. I never seen the center bring the ball. Now we've seen Durant bring the ball up with your forward. We've seen LeBron bring the ball up with your forward. But Bam is the center. Bam was coming up the court something different. It was just I thought I was watching playground ball. You know, he was coming up past half court, dishing back out to the guard. So I don't know. The matchups they're gonna switch, but to me, I think Jay Crowder could go against AD. You know, I don't know who's. You know, I know LeBron. When somebody get hot, I can see them putting LeBron on Tyler Hero, but Tyler's coming off the bench. So, but they keep Tyler in a lot of going back to the third and late in the fourth. I could see them putting LeBron on Tyler if he gets hot. I could see LeBron going on Jimmy Butler.
Right, and I wanted to bring and Reggie. You know, there's some good seasoned players on both teams that have won championships. Where does Andre Iguodala fall in line? Do you think that he goes towards LeBron, or how will Iguodala be effective playing against the Lakers during this finals?
Well, Iguodala has traditionally been a switchblade. You know, in a player like him, he plays all over the court. You know, and you talked about matchups. My thought process is, you know, I know that we're thinking LeBron and AD, but you know, this is AD's first time under the big lights. You know, it's not like he's been to finals and he has all this playoff experience. So, you know, I would look at the old Chicago Bulls and how they used to play defense on the center by committee. and Miami has enough fouls to go around for AD and LeBron to actually play defense on them both by committee. But I don't know if I'm jumping the gun on the question, but just like we talk about who's gonna stop LeBron and AD, you know, if the Heat gets hot with those shooters, and Bam Adebayo is controlling the middle, it's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a long night because Seth Free, you mentioned how you yearn for the glory days of the center and you want to see a triple tower. Well, the game is not like that anymore.
Yeah, I know.
This is a shooters league.
Yep.
And the Heat has a wealth of shooters, and if they get hot, it might be lights out.
And let's talk about X factors. When I talk about veterans, I was like, do you think Udonis Haslem will grace the floor this finals?
He should. He's
6 fouls.
Right.
Yeah, easy. He's Shaq attack. He's Shaq attack.
Yeah. Also, when I look at the Miami bench, Kendrick Nunn, who was a rookie, who had a great regular season, he had some problems with he got COVID, and he had some other things that he was dealing with before getting into the bubble. We haven't really heard anything from him.
Yeah.
Would he be a useful force with Miami?
I think so. I think him and Tyler had a chemistry.
Yeah.
And on and off the court. And I think I'm not going to say it's missing from Tyler's game, but them two, when they was in there together, it's a force to be reckoned with.
And let's talk.
It just shows how playoff basketball is different than regular season basketball. Honestly speaking, I've done, Seth Free, I've done this show many a times during the regular season. And, everybody wants to give out all these regular season awards and who's who and what's what. Yep. But guess what? All of those people that we thought who's who and what's what and who has a sneaker named after him, most of them are going home right now.
Yep.
So Kendrick Nunn is no exception. I'm tired of hearing about the COVID. I'm tired of hearing about all his whatever problems. This is the time where if you don't have the mental toughness, you're going to be on the bench, and he hasn't shown that. He hasn't shown that during this entire playoff.
Yeah. Let's talk about the players. I think that it's going to be the battle of the dogs, in a sense of we got Jimmy Butler, and then the determination, because you got Jimmy Butler, who's very determined, who has a point to prove, and as far as winning and having his own team, and then you got King James. I mean, that's two words just explainable. Like, he has a point to prove, another championship with the Lakers. It's a great story for the Lakers to win the championship, but it's also a great story with Miami Heat. If we matched up Butler's heart and King James' heart going into these finals, and they know that they both want to win, who do you go for? Lakers or the Heat? Both of you guys.
I mean, Jimmy buckets, he get his buckets, but I just think LeBron is they channeling Kobe and his ring and the Lakers legacy. AD, coming off just his last season with the Lakers, not making the playoffs. I think LeBron is putting more weight on winning the championship than Jimmy Butler. Even though Jimmy has the weight of Philly and he never had his own team, and a lot of people always thought he was a problem. I just think LeBron is stacking up more. I want this more than Jimmy, to me.
And I go this. I know a lot of people are like, undeniable, the Lakers are going to get it. But do you feel that the Lakers are beatable, though?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Reggie.
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, it's a false comparison to say it's Jimmy Butler's team versus LeBron's team, because the Miami Heat aren't Jimmy Butler's team. He's more addition to the team as opposed to what LeBron means to the Lakers. LeBron goes down all over them. I don't feel the same way as it pertains to the Heat. So you know, truthfully speaking, you know, we want to look at LeBron and Jimmy Butler and AD, but that guy Dragic, I don't know how to say his name, but Dragic, and couple that with Hero, couple that with
Duncan Robinson.
Duncan Robinson as a shooter, you know, like like you really got to deal with, you know, like this might not be no cakewalk like people think. And honestly, just like I've seen Jimmy Butler kind of go over in the fourth, and those other people pick it up. That's what I think is gonna happen, you know, in this series. Like LeBron can't really take droughts. LeBron can't really take plays off. He can't really, you know, you're counting the minutes. Like, oh God, it will, you know, we got to get LeBron back in the game because we're losing a lead. It's not the same way with the Heat. And I'm telling you, you know, the story of this series is going to be defense. And if you think about it, LeBron and the Lakers haven't really faced the defense. We thought the Clippers were going to be the defense that they were going to face. You know what I'm saying? But the Heat have been facing these killers from the Celtics to who they play before the Celtics?
As far as the Heat, the Heat played. They started off and they played Philly.
Giannis. They played
Milwaukee.
Giannis. They played Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
They played the defensive player of the year. Then they just finished playing the Celtics. We're not even thinking about the cakewalk in a butter through hot knife defense that LeBron has been just cutting through the lane on. Come on, it's gonna be different.
Yeah, and in addition to we're breaking down the players because there's some other players on the Lakers that are factors like KCP and Rajon Rondo. Let's talk about the coaches, Eric Spoelstra and Frank Vogel. And you know, I have to add, in my opinion, Pat Riley is a factor and is a part of that coaching squad for Miami. And, you know, there's been a lot of talk across with all the sports shows talking about Pat Riley and the Miami Heat know the strengths and weaknesses of LeBron, but LeBron also knows the strengths and weaknesses of Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra. Who do you think will be victorious? I just feel like it's an interesting matchup. You know, I love that Miami and LA is playing, but how does that factor with this new way of life in the bubble for both LeBron and the Miami Heat team? Seth.
I lean on the coaching with the Heat. Just experience. I think LeBron, even being on the Lakers now, I don't think the Heat is running the same plays, and like they got a whole nother different style of ball when Dwayne Wade and LeBron was there and Chris Bosh and all them. They like he was saying, they got some shooters now. It's just a whole different tactic, and I think the GOAT, Mr. Three-Peat himself, LeBron, do not know his bag of tricks, and you combine that with Eric, it's just a whole new playbook, and I think the Lakers are gonna be shocked at what type of coaching comes from the Heat.
I agree. Reggie, what's your thoughts on that?
The championship pedigree matters. Vogel, to my knowledge, hasn't sniffed the championship, been around these type of situations in these environments. You know, so championships matter. You're talking about Spoelstra has 2, Riley got 17.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah. So if you see, like everybody's just looking at this LeBron thing, and everybody's just looking at, you know, LA, looking at the purple and gold. But let me tell you something. Intrinsically, you're dealing with a lot of experience and a lot of wisdom from a coaching standpoint because Spoelstra has championship pedigree, and you're dealing with the same thing when it comes to Riley and him putting together this team. Like, who thought of, you know, like that's where you could tell the core of an organization. You know, not the flash in the pan, Zion Williams, you know, that pick. That's easy. But when you find these guys in the second and third round in the G League, and you know the Kawhi Leonard's out of San Diego State or something like that. Pat Riley has a knack for those type of things and those type of players, and I don't think it's gonna be a cakewalk. And you mentioned Rondo, right?
Yeah.
You know, Rondo is sometimes he's on and off. So is KCP. So and then the Heat got big shooters. They have big tall shooters shooting. Those guys gonna shoot over Rondo like it's a playground. Come on, I'm telling you.
We can all agree this series is going to be an exciting series for this finals. You know, I would love to hear before we end our prediction for the end of this finals. But let's talk about. And are you a basketball player? Did you play ball?
Yeah, small forward. Yep. When I used to play, the asthma kicked in and started DJing.
Right. So I guess my question for both of you all, because Reggie swear, you know, he still is wet on the court now. So I want to find out.
It is what it is.
I wanted to ask this. Game one. The Lakers have had one extra day more than the Heat to rest. Mm-hmm. Going on the court with all this now, I would love to hear your prediction on game one.
I'm going with the Heat. Game one. I just think this year is so different, man. Being in the bubble, talking to players, families down there. It's just I can't. It all depends when they hit that court, man. But because I just think it's so many different factors with the bubble that they never faced. I talk to players and they like, yo, I feel like I'm in a video game. I talk to some players and was like, yo, I can't. We in a big moment playoff game and I don't got no crowd to look at. I'm looking at a digital screen. Like it's just, it's different to like. I think before every game, players are going through something different. But I'm going with the Heat first game.
Reggie, your prediction for game one?
Same here. I think that the Heat are gonna bust them in the mouth. I think they're gonna bust them in the mouth and shake it up a little bit because LeBron is more computer based. He's more methodical. He's more getting information on you, and then matter of fact, he's just more reactionary as opposed to aggressive.
To his point,
I think they're gonna get punched in the mouth, and then and try to figure this thing out.
And I want to bring this point out. I agree with you as far as being in the bubble is a whole new. It is a whole new game. That tagline means a lot. It's the great tagline because in the regular season. The Heat lost to the Lakers both times they played in the regular season. I think that because it is a whole new game. Game one is going to be interesting, and I will add to it. I feel like the Lakers are beatable, but we shall see how far we go. And my last question to you guys: the final. How many games will the victor win?
I'm going. I think it's going all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to 7.
Yeah, I think it's when you say that it's a 4-3. I don't know. This is one I can't say it's going to who, but I do think it's going all the way. I think somebody's going to study a lot of tape. Yeah. One of these teams going to. That's what I think. To his point was. Lakers want to come out because let's think about ball now. It's sad to say, but like he said, stats, analytics, people trying to get some knowledge. So I think it's going 7. I think it's going to be a lot of tape studying, but I just don't know which way to go.
Absolutely, Reggie, your prediction for the whole series?
I think it's going 7 games. I think the Heat's going to shock the world in 7 games, and with I think it's a lot of factors, and like you said, it is a whole new game, and the thing is, it's an even game, it's a fair game because there is no home court advantage. There is no 20,000 in Staples. There is none of that type of stuff that we're talking about. So it's a fair game. And I think that there shouldn't be an asterisk on this season, because this is the toughest season, because there is no 12th, there is no like the Seattle
12 minutes,
football.
12 minutes, CLC.
There is no 12th man. There is no seventh man on the bench. There is none of that stuff. So
Right.
this is it, you know. And I like the fact that it's weeding out people. And I think that this season is going to show a lot of general managers and a lot of team builders about players that they will want to acquire. Like, do you really want a Paul George on your team? After you've seen him melt down year after year, he got claustrophobic in the bubble. You know, before in Indiana, he choked. He's a proverbial choker in Oklahoma. Like, and now this bubble kind of show how fragile he is. But as opposed to a LeBron James, who, you know, put him in the middle of the desert with 4 people, he gonna still be LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
fair game. It's a fair system, and I think that whoever wins it. But I'm really gonna root for this Heat team that you put me on to, Kelly, because truthfully speaking, I wasn't a believer. I wasn't a believer in the Nun kid. You know, I thought that the hero was up and down, but now,
And bam.
you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. I want to thank you guys. But Set Free, before we end, what's upcoming in your life, in your world? Because I know you got something in addition to this mixtape that I need to be in the studio while you creating on something with it.
I just put a logo out. It's called Play for Change. It's the logo with the guy with the fist in the air and he's holding the ball. So
Okay.
a lot of people have been sharing it on social media. I actually been seeding it at the bubble. So a bunch of players who J.R. Smith, Jay Crowder actually wore it. Jaylen Brown wore it for us. Kyrie Irving's been seen wearing it. So it's basically, I just thought the players for the NBA didn't have a logo that talked to social justice. So I created that, and it's going pretty good. I just did an interview with the NBA, Yahoo Sports. So it's a logo that I feel like anytime players have to address something to help the humanity, this logo gets tied to them. It's called Play for Change. So working up a couple of initiatives through like the tech world, some through sports, some through play, like a Paint the Park program that's going to be coming to the future.
And if you on those social, if you're on social during the series, how can people follow you and chat to you while we're watching these games?
Everything is _set-free.
Okay.
That's Twitter, Instagram, everything.
I am Set Free. And Reggie Hawkins, you are the program director and operations manager of Taste on Dash Radio. What can we look forward to you and what's upcoming for you?
Well, besides my work on the Trump campaign, I'm working on a new record, a new R&B record called COVID Love. Catch it.
Hey, I might cop that.
How
can people follow? What can we be? What's upcoming?
Taste Radio. Let me get off my real stuff. It's Taste Radio. We're doing some great things. DJ Sus One is in the morning. We have some other great air talents to include Yulissa Delgado and Adri V and all these amazing DJs from DJ Mill and Set Free. If you have any time, buddy, you know the door's open to come and do a mix on our radio station. Blah blah blah.
Thank you, man.
It's everything taste. So that's what's going on.
Thank you for sharing, and I'm gonna look forward to hearing COVID Love on the airwaves on Taste.
Well, you say COVID Love, it's COVID Love. Catch it.
You're so smart. Well, I want to thank you guys, Set Free, Reggie Hawkins, for joining me. I'm Kelly Kinkaid. I'm just a girl who loves basketball. See you next time. Thank you.